So hey guys, Dark Moon Doll here. I came here with you for a video on guess what? Twin flames, as promised. So it's a bit windy and rainy outside, but I'm gonna see if I can manage to make this video happen. So I found this article online. Let me find my notes here. I found this article online about twin flames, so I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. I'm going to read that article to you and then give you my opinions on what I think the twin flame is all about. So, let me find my notes. Okay, this is this one and this one. Trying to find the exact. Okay, there's the other note. Let's get my notes organized here, really quick here. And let's see. Yeah, I'm about to do a video on twin flames. Okay. So is this the first page? Okay, this is the first page of the notes. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little organized here. Okay, what's this? That's it, and that's it, and that's it. Okay, here we go. So basically, this article that I'm reading from, the name of the article is "Twin Flames. What are they? Plus 11 signs you found yours." And this comes from the website called Mind Body Green, and I'll put the website in the description below, the link for that. So, by the way, we are in a waxing moon phase too, and waxing moon phase is akin to, I'd say, Mercury retrograde. Let's make sure my phone doesn't get wet. I might have to hold my phone up while I talk to you so it doesn't get wet. We'll see. I don't think it'll be too bad. So, a twin flame is an intense soul connection with someone thought to be a person's other half, sometimes called a mirror soul. It's based on the idea that sometimes one soul gets split into two bodies. Whoa. One of the main characteristics of a twin flame relationship is that it'll be both challenging and healing. This due to the mirroring nature of a twin flame. They show you your deepest insecurities, fears, and shadows, but they also help you overcome them, and vice versa. Your twin flame will be equally affected by you. Importantly, each person is still whole on their own. There is a misnomer that a twin flame completes you. In reality, relationships are meant to encourage you to be more complete in your own right. Yes. So it's really starting to come down. I need to come down onto the phone here. Let me move over here. Can you still see me? Let's pause and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I'm more in the light. I'm all like shining. So I'm gonna read to you the 11 signs you found your twin flame. 1. When you met, there was an instant recognition. When you first encounter your twin flame, there will be an intense sense of attraction, recognition, and longing. Meeting a twin flame often feels like home. They feel familiar, an undeniably intense bond as though you have known them before. You're very similar. You and your twin flame may find that you have a lot in common as far as values, past experiences, and interests. Both of you will find that your past story has a lot of coincidences and similar experiences. In those areas that aren't similar, you'll find your differences complement each other, almost like yin and yang. Their shadow, for example, will be complemented by your light, and vice versa. And because a twin flame mirrors you, you're likely very aware of how your relationship highlights your shadows and theirs. It's starting to rain. Your insecurities and doubts are amplified. The purpose of your twin flame is to support and help you with your divine mission and purpose. So often, this type of relationship will reflect your problems and deepest insecurities, so you can work through them to heal and grow. From the moment you met and still to this day, you feel drawn to them physically when they're near you as well. Oh, as well as magnetically when you're apart. It's as though their energy is always with you, always wanting to be closer. Twin flame relationships aren't all smooth sailing, and actually, they're usually not. Being with a twin flame is like constantly being confronted by yourself, namely the parts of yourself you may not like. It can be incredibly challenging, but it's facilitating major growth to both of you. There's a definite emotional charge between twin flames, and they often develop quickly because you already feel so familiar. Because you are so connected at soul level, you feel things deeper together, which often makes for more intensity and passion. You keep coming back together. The chase is most definitely a part of the twin flame relationship. At some point, one of you may walk away out of fear, anger, you name it, but you'll often come back. If you're in an off and on again type relationship, it could be with your twin flame. You'll find that things just keep bringing you back together in random ways. It could be months, years, even decades. Okay, months, years, and decades. Yeah. So, number 9, your connection feels divine. When you find your twin flame, there's a certain larger than life quality that likely feels divine or predestined. There's a feeling that you have been brought together by a higher power, and that creates a very strong bond between the two of you. Number 10, you have an almost psychic connection. You and your twin flame can likely communicate with just a glance, and you always know what the other is thinking. You may even feel each other's emotions or symptoms. Number 11, they push you to be and do better. Because twin flames act as mirrors, they challenge us to do better, and oftentimes your purposes are aligned in a way that pushes both of you to new heights. It's a very expansive relationship that promotes a lot of growth. So, yeah, have you guys met your twin flames yet? I know that I have. I did not even notice, realize it, and I'm gonna tell you guys. Let me get personal about this here. So, let me get my twin flame notes here, and I'm just gonna look at the 11 signs, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about some personal stuff. Hey, that's what this channel is about, me sharing my experiences with you. And you can share your experiences with me if you feel comfortable doing so. So, here's the first sign if you found your twin flame. 1, when you met, there was instant recognition. When you first encounter your twin flame, there will be an intense sense of attraction, recognition, and longing. Meeting a twin flame often feels like home. They feel familiar and undeniable, intense bond as though you have known them before. Okay, so last summer, um, when I was kicked out of my apartment by my husband of 23 years, he said he didn't want nothing to do with me, wanted me to go out and get the divorce, all this, yada, yada, yada. That's good, that's great. You guys can learn more information about that in my past videos. There's so much more to that story. So, I came down here to where I could live with a friend, so or hang out with a friend and help me out. And in the process of doing that last year, I ran into someone I'd known years ago that I worked with. And this person was definitely somebody that from the first moment I saw this person, it did feel like home. I did feel like I'd known this person all my life. It felt so very familiar to me. This connection, whatever it was. Um, So yeah, so here's number 2. You and your twin flame may find that you have a lot in common as far as your values, past experiences, and interests. Both of you will find that your past story has a lot of coincidences and similar experiences. The thing about this person is I don't know much about his past experiences, his childhood, or anything like that, what have you. This person always seems so much caring about me and what I'm going through and what I've gone through in my history. And I wanted to know more about this person, but it didn't happen that way. And sometimes it just doesn't. We do have a lot of similar interests. For my birthday, I remember when I was working with him, he bought me a copy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And I had told him about how I like horror movies and I like the old school horror movies. And he bought me like the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the book. And I was just like, wow, that was like the best birthday present anybody's ever bought me. Because that right there showed me for sure that this person gets me. Let me try to move this camera back over to where it was lighting. Okay, we're back over to better lighting. um, yeah, but it was raining over. I didn't want the camera to get wet, the phone. But yeah, that right there is like, wow, that was very impressive. Nobody's ever bought me a birthday present like that. It was so thoughtful and based on what I'm interested in, my interest. So, yeah, number 3, you complement each other. In those areas that you aren't so similar, you'll find your differences complement each other, almost like yin and yang. Their shadow, for example, will be complemented by your light, and vice versa. And because a twin flame mirrors you, you're likely very aware of how your relationship highlights your shadows and theirs. Yes, I do. I do see that definitely. Um, I don't know how to explain it though. um, this person is a lot more. I wouldn't say he's darker than me, but he is straight up front with what he's passionate about and what he wants. And he will go for it and he will ask for it, and let me put this back over here. I gotta keep adjusting. The rain's starting again. And that's something I was never really used to, someone being upfront and bold and telling me what they want. And I like that. And that was just really just impressive to me. I can be like that, yet I've been really cautious. In that time when I met this person all those years ago, I was very cautious because I had just gotten out of a relationship with someone. And I didn't want to get my heart broken. I wanted to mend myself. But there was no denial that this person and myself had a lot in common. And there was surely a magnetic attraction going on. So, number 4, your insecurities and doubts are amplified. So, the purpose of your twin flame is to support and help you with your divine mission and purpose. So often, this type of relationship will reflect your problems and deepest insecurities so you can work through them to heal and grow. Okay, so when I did finally get a chance to hang out with this wonderful man, um, I realized that I just wanted to be with this person. And I didn't want to be without this person because he did feel like home. And when I hung out with him again after all those years, it felt so comfortable. I did have a few insecurities, about, it's been years later. Does he still find me attractive? Will we have anything to talk about? We were fine. We talked our asses off, and we were good to go. Yeah, I was just really amazed at how, after all those years, the attraction is still there, just just as alive as alive can be. You know what I'm saying? So number 5. From the moment you met and still to this day, you feel drawn to them physically when they're near you, as well as what was it? As magnetically when you're apart. It's as though their energy is always with you. Let's switch the camera back over here. Lighting's way better over here. Rain stopped for a bit. Um, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, when they're near you, as well as magnetically when you're apart. It's as though their energy is always with you, always wanting to be closer. Yeah, I do feel that way. And I've been having dreams about this man lately. And it's been very, very passionate and beautiful. And some of the dreams have been confusing because communication is, we're not really communicating right now. So, and that's another story. So, we got number 6. Rain's starting again. Rain's back over here. um, I'll just be in the light. Nothing wrong with that. Twin flame relationships aren't all smooth sailing, and actually, they're usually not. Being with a twin flame is like constantly being confronted by yourself, namely the parts of yourself you may not like. It can be incredibly challenging, but it's facilitating major growth for both of you. I did notice that when we worked together, there were times where I would get really pissed off at him, just so mad at him, and we would just argue, not like loud or anything, yelling. We'd argue, and then towards the end of the day of our shift, we'd make up and we'd be cool. That was so weird about our relationship like that. So number 7, the relationship is very intense. There's a definite emotional charge between twin flames, and they often develop quickly because you already feel so familiar. Because you are so connected at a soul level, you feel things deeper together, which often makes for more intensity and passion. Yeah, definitely. The passion is there. Okay. When I kissed this guy, oh my God. It was just delightful. And it just felt like this is what I want. This is the relationship I want for the rest of my life. That feeling, that passion, that intensity. He's a go getter, and he is a straight shooter. So when he tells you what he wants, that's what he wants, and he goes for it. And that's how I am, and that's what I really, really like about him is that he doesn't fuck around. He doesn't pussyfoot around anything. He just gets right down to it and say, "This is what I want." So I love that. So number 8. You keep coming back together. The chase is most definitely part of the twin flame relationship. At some point, one of you may walk away out of fear, anger, you name it, but you'll often come back together. If you're in an off again, on again relationship, it could be with your twin flame. You'll find that things just keep bringing you together in random ways. Could be months, years, even decades. Yeah, that's what it feels like because I told you over 15 years ago. I hadn't seen him since. I mean, when I ran into him last summer, I hadn't seen him in like over like 15 years, and the passion was still there. The attraction was still there. When he saw me and I saw him, it was like we literally bumped into each other here, down here, and I was just so happy, and all these feelings were coming up inside of me that just felt so good. My heart felt warm. Um, he asked me a lot about myself and how I was doing. Asked me about my son. Asked me about my mom. It's like he really cared. He really got me and understood what I was going through. Without even going through what I went through, he actually understood me and what I was going through. And then he gave me a hug twice, and we exchanged phone numbers. So beautiful, beautiful man. Beautiful, beautiful man. We do just. It just seems like, and that was the key thing that he said to me. Um, the first time that I ran into him again, down here, he said to me, "I knew you'd always come back to me." And what's interesting is before I saw him and ran into him that day, I was listening to the Isley Brothers, specifically one song called "Voyage to Atlantis." In that "Voyage to Atlantis" song, there was the lyrics that said, "I'll always come back to you." And I'm like, what? I didn't say anything to him on that day when I saw him about that, but that was on my mind. I'm like, dang, it's starting to rain. I better get in here soon, get inside soon, finish up here. So I'm on number 8. Okay, so number 9, your connection feels divine. When you find your twin flame, there's a certain larger than life quality that likely feels divine or predestined. There's a feeling that you have been brought together by a higher power, and that creates a very strong bond between the two of you. These can also sometimes be karmic relationships. So, and that'll be a whole nother video that I'll do about karmic relationships. But yeah, I do feel like there's something divine about us seeing each other again. In the beginning, I couldn't quite grasp what it was, but now when I ran into him again, and I started hearing all these songs, these love songs. Like there's this one group I was listening to a lot called New Jeans. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a Korean pop band, and there's one song called Super Shy. And lyrics in there that just really stuck out in my head is "You don't even know my name, do you?" And the funny thing is when I ran into him again, I couldn't remember his name. That's what was fucked up. He says, "You don't even remember my name, do you?" What the fuck? I mean, that's so obvious that this is some divine. This is a divine intervention saying, "Look, these two need to be back together again," and they do. And started hearing songs that he used to like that he had played for me the last time that I met up with him last year and just hung out at his place. He played for me the song "Ebony Eyes" by Rick James and Smokey Robinson, and then he played what other song was it? "Ebony Eyes" and Rick James, "Mary Jane." But all these love songs he was playing when we were hanging out together, and each song I liked. It was like he knew what to put on to play for me. He knew that I'd like it. And sitting there with him and just being in his presence just felt so right. It had never felt that way about anybody I've ever been romantically involved with. Ever. Ever. I've never felt like that ever with anybody before. So I do feel like it was divine. And it is divine. Uh, I just can't push it to make it happen. And I'm not going to tell you the details about that just yet. But I can't push it to make it happen. I know the spirit, my ancestors, the archangels, my guardian angels, ancestors, did I say ancestors? Spirit guides, all of them are working with me, and God is working with me, letting me know that in good time. Basically, I got to get myself situated and together, and then things will happen. But until then, it was like giving me a taste of what's to come by me meeting up with him and hanging out with him last year, which was such a pleasure and a joy. And I just love being in his presence. So, excuse me. Number 10, you have an almost psychic connection. You and your twin flame. It's flying around. You and your twin flame can likely communicate with just a glance, and you always know what the other is thinking. You may even feel each other's emotions. Oh, it's really coming down now. Get my back wet. Yes, it's true because the first time I hung out with him again, he looked at me. He knew he could read my mind, and I could read his mind, and I know what we're thinking and what each other's thinking. And like that song from, it makes me think of that Stone Temple Pilot song. I know you know what's on my mind. I know it eats you up inside. I know you know, you know, you know. If you know, you know. You know the song. All right. And so we're on to number 11. They push you to be and do better. Because twin flames act as mirrors, they challenge us to do better, and oftentimes your purposes are aligned in a way that pushes both of you to new heights. It's a very expansive relationship that promotes a lot of growth. Okay, yeah, he did push me to do better and be better, and I did just the same with him as well. The last time we were in contact with each other and I hung out with him, I told him some things about what's up, my living situation and all that, and he It is. He's definitely psychic. He just started talking to me about things about my situation. So nobody would know unless I told him that. And he gave me some insight into the situation without basically telling me what to do. That's what's cool about him. He doesn't tell me what to do, but he'll give me some insight. He'll say something that makes me think and go, wow, he's probably right about that. So, yeah, he do. I do feel like he has pushed me to spiritually grow. I mean, there was one thing he told me the last time we were hanging out with each other, and here's what he said to me. As we were talking, he's like, we were talking about how I used to date women and as well as men, and then I got married, and so I pretty much devoted to one person. And when he met me, he knew that I was bisexual and that I dated both men and women. But then when I got married to a man, I I really wasn't interested in thinking about being with a woman because I'm a monogamous person. No matter what my sexuality is, I'm monogamous. I'm only with one person. And then he talked to me about that. So, are you still attracted to women? And I said to him, I don't think so. I think I really want to just stick with men. He's like, well, you can't just switch on and off your attractions. It's just a part of you. You shouldn't be expected to switch off a part of you, who you are. And he was just so sweet. Like, and then he was asking me about certain things, like about if I drink. And I said, well, I did have an occasional drink here and there. He said, you used to drink it all when I met you. I mean, back when I was, living with, when I was married to my husband, I was drinking occasionally, having an alcoholic drink here and there. But yes, when I was with him, I didn't drink at all. I didn't. And the thing about it is being with him, being that he was my twin flame, is my twin flame, is that I didn't feel like I wanted an alcoholic beverage to relax and unwind. Just being with him, within his energy, and that energy is combining, it made me feel so peaceful and tranquil that I didn't feel like I needed something to take the edge off or anything because I feel nervous. It just felt so natural. It was like communing with myself, and only a male version, in a very attractive male version, I may add. So that's all I got for you guys today about twin flames. I'll come back to you with a video about soulmates if you're interested, which I think you may be. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your donations. If you want to donate to my channel, in exchange for your donation, I can create a one of a kind piece of artwork for you, or I can create a video based on the topic of your choosing. Um, my Cash App cash tag is Lightmoondoll. So it'll be all in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. Brightest blessings to you all, and I will see you soon. Hope you guys are not trying to look for your twin flame. You don't try to look for it. The twin flame comes, so you don't have to look. It just happens when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're living your life path, and you're involved in what you're passionate about. That's when the twin flame comes back around. I know this because that's what's happened to me, and it's a happy experience, and at the same time, it's a heartbreaking experience because the whole come and go type of deal. It's like I want it to be here in permanently, and not like come and go. But I do believe that people can have a loving relationship with the twin flame, and that they can learn a lot from the twin flame. A lot of times, the twin flames, they have a lot of things going on a personal level that you may not be aware of, and they're not ready to share it with you. No push and prod, because uh, I did offer, shoulder to cry on and ear to listen, and this person is very independent, and it seems like he doesn't want to boggle. He doesn't want to bog me down with his problems, and he seems to like listen to what's going on with me. So It's sweet. It's very sweet, and I like that. I like the sweetness. I like the consideration. I like the respect, and it's just beautiful, beautiful soul. And according to this, what was I reading here? Saying that the twin flame is all about the soul gets split into two bodies. So there it is. Alrighty, guys. Feel free to let me know what you think about this, about twin flames, and if you've met yours, and what you think about twin flames in general. I don't think anybody should be going out and looking for it. I think this just magically happens when you're living in your purpose and living your spiritual path, staying true to your spiritual path, walking it as best you can, and doing the best you can on this planet Earth. So, with that said, brightest blessings to you all, and I will see you soon.